Dear viewers, good afternoon. As you are all aware that the COVID-19 pandemic has really created a havoc, and it has completely changed our lives and business. The safety and social distancing has been the main concern at the present moment. It has become difficult to stay in contact with the steel and refractory industry experts in the present situation. We therefore took the help that through digitization we can at least stay in contact with the industry to whom we cater. Today we have with us Dr. A.K. Chattopadhyay, who is the doyen of this industry, as our guest speaker. The topic of the webinar is Self-Reliant Refractory Industry Post-COVID-19. I'm sure Dr. Chattopadhyay will definitely throw some light on this present situation and the future of the refractory and the steel industry. I would now request Dr. Chattopadhyay to please deliver his speech. Over to Dr. Chattopadhyay.
Hi everyone. We hope you and your loved ones are in good health. We all are going through a difficult time in our life, which is quite unprecedented, and also at the same time a time for retrospection. I'm thankful to ISR Infomedia for organizing this webinar at a time when things are very, very uncertain and also volatile. I would like to share a few thoughts of myself from my background of running few of the refractory industries in this country for last 4.5 decades. For last more than 4.5 decades, I had also my intimate relationship with the main consuming industries of refractory, that is steel, cement, and also other high temperature industries. And I was quite familiar with the customers and tried to engage myself to understand what exactly is required by them and time to time. The National Steel Policy, if we look at 2017, that projected a growth of per capita consumption of steel to be 158 kg. And if we convert it into steel production, the growth by 2030 should be 300 million ton of crude steel. Now, under the present circumstances, it appears to be overtly optimistic. But if we also look at the per capita consumption currently, it is at 70 kilogram, whereas the world figure is 225 kilogram. So if we just think of a more optimistic figure or more realistic figure of 125 kg of per capita consumption, then also we will end up by 2030 a steel production of more than close to 200 million ton from the present level of 110 million ton. Now, similar will be the case in cement, fertilizers, petrochemicals and other consuming industries, but still being the largest. We of course expected that even with this realistic assumption of steel capacity increase, the domestic refractory consumption, which is around 1.2 million ton today, last year it was around 1.2 million ton, and it will reach at least close to 2 million ton, if not more, by 2030. While the demand of refractory in India will steeply rise, it might not directly convert into the increase in demand of indigenous products in future, unless and otherwise we take some corrective steps in the industry and focus in some of the key areas. The first one in my mind is we have to engage for high R&D spend in the industry, which is very, very less today, because our consumers are demanding for clean steel production. There are applications in IF grade steel, there are applications in auto grade steel. And the second important point is the skilling of our manpower. And the third one is focusing on some futuristic technology that uses more of unsafe refractories. In our country still today, the unsafe refractory consumption is only 28%. So we can easily go up to 40 kg, 28 kg, 28%. From there, in my opinion, it should go to 40%. But for that, we require to engage ourselves for application technology. We must adapt ourselves to a lot of repair practices. Why should you stop a kiln or a furnace? Development of product is on one side for the gunning and for repairing. For gunning at the same time, we will do the casting and it should be gunned at the same time. So those new technologies are to be adopted by us. And of course, for this we need to have a change in our mindset and to look beyond low cost. Today, many of our consuming industries also look for low cost of refractories, and certain specific areas, in my opinion, are the challenges for the refractory industry. Now, if we summarize the challenges for the refractory industry as on day, the first one comes in my mind is the specific consumption of refractory is going to less day by day. Because refractory is after all a non-metallic inclusion, and nobody would like to have more refractory in their process. A steel maker will not like to have more refractory, because after all, the more refractory goes into the steel, it makes the steel going on reducing day by day. We have seen in the past, 30 years back, it used to be almost 40 kilogram of steel consumption. Today it is almost 10 kilogram pattern of steel production. So this is one big challenge, that when the consumption is going to reduce, how to remain competitive and how to remain a criteria. And this is a challenge for the refractory industry, and we need to immediately look into, and especially with the invent of now there are border conflicts with some neighboring countries who are definitely having more quality raw material today. Like, let me give you some specific example. we have plenty of bauxite, plenty of magnesite, plenty of silicon carbide in our country. These are the three bulk raw materials which we consume in the refractory industry, and all these three raw materials mostly, almost I would say sometimes 90% or sometimes 95% comes from China, especially the materials which we have, like in bauxite we have lime, we have iron, and in the magnesite we have silica. So we need to beneficiate these materials through our R&D, and for that probably all the three agencies, research institutes, academia and the industry should come forward to work together for creating very innovative beneficiation method for making these raw materials to be used in the industry. Today the way it is, it cannot be consumed because of these impurities in those raw materials. Today we import almost 2 lakh ton of metals in our ladles, in our electric arc furnaces. So this is one area where I think we have spent a lot of time, but we should immediately engage ourselves. And if we want to become Atmanirbhar, self-reliant, this is one area we should look into in the post-COVID scenario for the refractory industry. The third one is a challenge for the refractory industry, that we are not able to attract and retain talents through long-term strategic HRD intervention, and we must do that immediately. We have to change the old and current concept of dirty, messy and polluting image of the refractory industry to a clean, green and the challenging one. And once the young engineers are able to see that benefit, they will be definitely attracted towards this industry. But this requires a HR invention properly. And as on day, the ROI of the refractory industry is really bad, very poor, and for that there is a need for refractory industry to engage again for proper risk management and cash flow. These are the areas where we should look into. Now, having said that, we need to see that when we have the lowest cost of knowledge, we must get our innovation hub properly done. We also must use more of recycled and salvaged material in the industry. In the refractory industry, dumps a lot of materials which otherwise will be considered to be a reject, but then it is polluting the atmosphere also. And we must find out ways and means that how to recirculate that material to be used in the main production. And lastly, in my considered view, we must understand the Prime Minister's call of Atmanirbhar, which in my view, to become a self-reliant and self-sufficient, our research institutes have to grossly engage themselves with the industry, because the refractory industry as per se is even today 8,500. All the research, all the development, if we leave it to the refractory industry, probably it will not be done. So government has to take an initiative in the bigger interest of making sure that their steel production do not get lost. Now, like take an example that if tomorrow Government of India decides 100% ban of Chinese materials, raw material as well as finished products, then our cost of manufacture for the steel will become unnecessarily higher. And that is why it is important and it is necessary that refractory industry should be helped by government and other agencies. In fact, even I would say go one step ahead, that national steel policy should also include in future that how to develop indigenous raw material for the refractory in the country, so that finally the refractory industry in turn helps the steel people to give a better quality of refractory for tomorrow. And when they give a better quality of refractory, obviously the steel production will be smoother, steel production will be lower. So This will be my take on this subject. And at the end, once again, I would urge all of you to remain safe in your home and try to utilize this time for introspection and try to do whatever best is possible for the days to come. Thank you very much.